We are grateful to our sponsors, Kelly Stafford with Stafford Tree Service, and also Kow Cow Manure. If you need your trees trimmed locally, remember Stafford Tree Service at staffordtreesvc.com. And please visit Kow Cow Manure, that's K-O-W. Remember, both of the contact details are in the description below. Podocarpus. If you think of podiatrist, you think of someone's little foot. And that's where they came up with the name for Podocarpus. The little droop tends to come together and it looks like, imagine if you will, through sight and sound, that you've got a little tiny foot coming off the droop. That's where they came up with Podocarpus. Beautiful little plant. Now this one kind of caught my eye because I had not seen them very much variegated. And I've seen them all green, and I've known them forever as that. Sometimes called the yew, sometimes called the Japanese pine, but it's in the yew family or Podocarpus family. This one is called mood ring. And I think they gave it the name mood ring because, well, they're always trying to come up with some kind of brand new name for a new variety. This is a cultivar of the Podocarpus macrophyllus, or macrophylla. And the Podocarpus, we've seen them sometimes get large. I mean, I've seen some Podocarpus get up to being 30, 40 feet tall. But typically, a Podocarpus is going to stay smaller. Now, it can be tree-like, but we often see them trimmed as a hedge. My son has one of these growing next to his townhouse, and it's growing as a kind of a hedge blocking plant. His isn't being taken care of that well, but it used to be taken care of well. And, you know, if you've got an association where they do trim them up, make sure the guys, you know, trim them. Normally you want to taper them a little bit so that they are going to be even. The Podocarpus, if you're going to start it, you're going to make sure that you use some rooting hormone. It's usually called indolbutyric acid. As far as light levels, full sun to partial shade, but mostly full sun. Temperatures, well, unless you live in Alaska or Michigan, this is normally going to be cold hardy. If you're in any of the southern states around the world where it's not getting really freezing, you shouldn't have much problems. These will take down to probably, I would bet 10 degrees without a problem. As far as water, make sure that you do water them especially when you're establishing them. Once they're established, I've seen them in some areas where they didn't get any water than what they got from the rain, and they survived okay. But when they're young plants, that's a different story. Inversely, you don't want them sitting in water. Why? Because they could get into some root rot problems. If you think you've got some drainage problems, improve that soil, add that black cow, add some peat moss, add something to give it some friability, maybe some wood chips, maybe add something that's going to loosen that soil up. And as far as fertilizing, any good general fertilizer, probably a slow release fertilizer, maybe 3 times a year should be great. You will have to prune them to keep them in shape. They don't get many pests normally, but if they do, it's usually some aphids, or occasionally I've seen some cottony cushion scale. Typically some soap type products will work. And as far as propagation, we mentioned that earlier, using the indolbutyric acid or Rootone, which you can buy at most nurseries, will give you pretty good results. Remember, of course, if you've got a Podocarpus and you want to send us a picture, I'm amazed how good the pictures are that people have been sending me, even just from their phones. And or you can take an old-fashioned shot with your camera. People still have cameras, and I guess a few folks do. We want to tell you, of course, that every Saturday at 10 a.m. new videos will be dropping. So if you tell all of your garden club members, all your friends that do any growing, that they can watch, and maybe even more importantly, subscribe. We appreciate it if they hit the bell, hit the button, whatever they need to do to be a part of the Greenthumb group. Thank you for watching.